Started with the groceries. I never thought cheating would look like this. No hotel rooms, no lipstick on collars, no late-night texts with hearts and fire emojis. It started with groceries. Every Thursday at exactly 6:40 p.m, my husband Mark came home from work, loosened his tie, kissed me on the cheek, and asked the same question: "What's for dinner?" And for 12 years I answered it. We lived in a quiet suburb outside Columbus, Ohio, the kind of neighborhood where lawns are always trimmed, kids ride bikes until sunset, and everyone waves but no one really knows each other. From the outside, we were solid, married in our 20s, 2 kids, mortgage, weekend barbecues, family vacations to Florida, but inside the house, something had gone quiet. Mark wasn't cruel. He wasn't distant in an obvious way. He still paid bills on time, still fixed things around the house, still hugged me. But he stopped seeing me. Conversations became logistical. "Did you pick up Emma?" "Soccer practice is at 5. "We're out of milk." We slept in the same bed, inches apart, like polite strangers sharing a bench. I told myself this was normal. Marriage evolves. Passion fades. This is adulthood. Then Mark's company announced layoffs. He didn't lose his job, but his hours were cut. Suddenly, he was home more. And suddenly, I realized how lonely I had been even when he wasn't. That's when I met Daniel. He moved in across the street in early spring. Mid-30s, divorced, no kids, worked remotely in tech. Always wore clean sneakers and that half-smile men get when they're trying not to look interesting. The first time we spoke, I was struggling with grocery bags. One of them ripped, oranges rolling across the driveway like tiny suns. Daniel jogged over barefoot, helped me gather them. "Looks like they're trying to escape," he said. I laughed harder than the joke deserved. That should have been the end of it. But the next week, I saw him again, then again. He walked his dog around the same time I watered the plants. We exchanged nods, small talk. "How's the weather treating you? Dog still adjusting? Let me know if you need anything." It was harmless, until it wasn't. One Thursday afternoon, Mark texted, "Running late, can you grab dinner stuff?" I drove to the store, mentally checking off items: chicken, rice, wine. When I came back, arms full of bags, Daniel was outside, leaning against his car. "Need a hand?" he asked. Inside the kitchen, we unpacked groceries together. The house smelled like lemon cleaner and something new. "You've got a nice place," he said. "Thanks, it's lived in." He smiled. That's usually the best kind. Something shifted. Nothing happened that day, or the next. But after that, he started coming over for small things, borrowing a tool, asking about the neighborhood, helping with the fence, always during the day, always casual. Mark barely noticed. Then one afternoon, while the kids were at school and Mark was at work, Daniel stayed longer than usual. We sat at the kitchen island, coffee between us. "So," he said, not looking at me, "can I ask you something a little personal?" I should have said no. Instead, I said, "Okay. Are you happy?" The question hit harder than I expected. I opened my mouth, then closed it. "I don't know," I finally said. Daniel nodded, like he'd expected that answer. "Yeah, that's usually the answer." Silence stretched between us, not awkward, heavy. He didn't touch me, didn't lean in. That somehow made it worse. After that day, I thought about him constantly. I caught myself checking the window to see if his car was there. Dressing differently, putting on lip gloss even if I wasn't going anywhere. Nothing had happened. And yet, something already had. The first line crossed wasn't physical, it was emotional. I started telling Daniel things I hadn't told Mark in years. About feeling invisible, about missing who I used to be. About how lonely it felt to be surrounded by people and still feel alone. Daniel listened, really listened. One afternoon, as he stood up to leave, he paused at the door. "This is dangerous," he said quietly. I nodded. "I know." Neither of us moved. He stepped closer, not touching, just close enough that I could feel his presence. "I don't want to be the reason you blow up your life," he said. I swallowed. "I don't want to feel like this anymore." That's when he kissed me, not desperate, not rushed, slow, careful, like he was asking permission with his lips. I didn't pull away. We didn't sleep together that day. We didn't need to. The line had already been crossed. After that, it became routine. Daniel would come over while the house was empty. We'd talk. Sometimes we'd kiss. Sometimes just sit close, knees touching. Every time I told myself, this is the last time. Every time I let him back in. I still cooked dinner for Mark, still helped with homework, still played the role of wife. But inside, I was living a double life built out of stolen moments and excuses. The guilt came in waves. At night, lying next to Mark, I'd stare at the ceiling, heart racing, wondering if he could somehow sense it. But Mark was unchanged. That almost hurt more. The breaking point came on a rainy Tuesday. The kids were at a friend's house. Mark was working late. Daniel came over, soaked from the rain. I handed him a towel. We stood there, dripping water onto the floor. "This has to stop," I said. He nodded. "I know." We didn't move. "I love you," he said. The words landed like a match. I should have put it out. Instead, I let it burn. That night, we crossed the final line. No details, no dramatics. Just two people giving in to something they had tried and failed to control. Afterward, I sat on the edge of the bed, wrapped in a blanket, shaking. "This doesn't make us bad people," Daniel said. I didn't answer. Because deep down, I knew it wasn't about being bad, it was about consequences. I ended it the next day, told Daniel we couldn't see each other anymore, that I needed to choose my family. He didn't argue, he just nodded, eyes sad, and said, "I hope you find what you're looking for." Mark never found out, at least not directly, but something changed. Maybe I stopped pretending, maybe the guilt pushed me to speak up. I told Mark I wasn't happy, really told him. We started therapy, hard conversations, ugly truths. Some days it felt like rebuilding, other days like delaying the inevitable. Daniel moved out 6 months later. Sometimes when I carry groceries inside, I still think of him. I think about how easily it all started. No dating apps, no lies at first, just a quiet marriage, an open door, and someone who asked the wrong question at the right time. If you're listening to this and thinking, that could never be me, that's what I thought too. Cheating doesn't always look like passion. Sometimes it looks like help with the groceries.